slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being. You ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the crown. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. You ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all. rocket like rocket fuel.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'4" QB from the University of Tennessee. It's Joshua Dobbs.
And what a performance in his last game. Couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. A big play here for Dallas. 47 yards. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Mike Weber, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Eagles under fourth-year head coach Doug Peterson. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback Carson Wentz.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. They're trying to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Quickly now a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
A special player on the offensive line is right tackle Lane Johnson, a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. And pass rushers come from everywhere now in the NFL, and he holds them in check on his side and loves to finish off guys in the running game.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's Murray. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now they'll throw it. Wentz going to go to Clement here out of the backfield. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards, good enough for a first. This is Corey Clement, the third-year back from Wisconsin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Clement looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Leighton Vander Esch, 3rd in the NFL in tackles as a rookie last year, there on the stop. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Play action. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I had no idea.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. On 3rd down, Dobbs. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Here's Jackson. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On the ground, it's Clement to start the drive. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. The 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Clement, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Dobbs. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing here, Dobbs. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Dobbs. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Dobbs, and he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you'd think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Pollard, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the draw, it's Pollard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, it's Reber. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down now, it's Scott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Dobbs. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets kicked in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The Cowboys on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Weber. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The kick by Maher is good. And that will knot us up at 10. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. He finds Latavius Murray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
This pass complete, Wentz to Ertz, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Again, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that would...
That's caught at the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
For the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. We've got a good divisional battle here tonight in the NFC East. Tomorrow night, we get one in the AFC East. The Patriots and the Jets. Monday Night Football, MetLife Stadium. Coverage at 8:15 Eastern Time. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 20. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Now Austin. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
56, right there.
On 2nd and 7, Dobbs letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Dobbs is throwing. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. They'll run on first down. Pollard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Going to run again here with Pollard. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Back to throw Dobbs. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Wentz now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
To try again after the sack. Wentz looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Murray. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Wentz. Throw left side complete. That's Murray. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And now they're in the hurry-up. On 3rd and 2, Dobbs. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. They come up here on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
10th carry of the game now, Murray. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Eagles on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They run the counter. Pollard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's Pollard again. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
That's what I'm talking about. Not him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. This is Murray. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Dobbs. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Dowds to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Let's go.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the carry, this is Scott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They go again with Scott. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper. His 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you? Return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now Wentz and the Eagles down 24-20. A little over a minute to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Murray. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. On first down, Pollard. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. And they will take a knee here. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Pollard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Cowboys, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Phil...